Hi, this is to the lady members of the dating site DoULike, which I joined recently. And this website felt a lot more legitimate than some of the ones I've encountered. And it's hard to often stand out on paper, which honestly, digital website, writing words, throwing your photos out, it's hard to stand out. And I wanted to do this video as an extension of my hobby channel, Play Like You Can, as a means of kind of throwing myself out there. Since a lot of times, you can't look at a picture and really know what someone sounds like, how they move, all those good things. Well, this is an opportunity for any of those interested ladies to do that. So let me jump in. My name is Lance Huff, 49 years old, going to turn 50 in October. I grew up in California, having moved here in 2007. I have worked retail most of my life, though I do have college degrees. They just didn't materialize into, a successful lifestyle. And from honestly most of California up to here, I didn't really date much, very limited sexual experience. And if you had to ask me why, there was really no good reason. Parents didn't push me to date. I was very shy and introverted, and it was just so easy to kind of be the background guy, whether it was church or school. And sure, I liked dozens of girls, but never really had the courage to really talk to them. And it was easy to kind of be in that bubble. And the limited sexual experience, the last one was, well, it was pretty toxic for me and left me kind of feeling shell-shocked. And then I kind of encountered a group of friends, and then I moved out with my brother, and it was very easy to kind of fill that void that having a girlfriend would have had. Normal guys in their 20s, you moved to Arizona, and having even less friends and not being any more braver. It's very easy to kind of be in that shell that I've been in for a very long time. I recently moved in January to this apartment that's just across from the Mesa Community Court, just off of First Avenue and Mesa Drive. And I've had what I can only describe as this burningness, this restlessness that just won't leave me alone. And whether it's from God, the world, or the devil, I don't know. I just know that I just had to be honest with myself that I hated being alone. I hated the way things were, and I wanted to change. But it's very easy to say, I want to change. But then you're like, okay, great. I did this path for 20 plus years, and, what am I supposed to do? I'm not any braver. I'm not any smarter. So what are you supposed to do? Well, obviously, the websites have gotten a little bit more slick and sophisticated. But, the odds of meeting people are sometimes not easy. Men to women, men are outranking women 10 to 1. So, again, this video is a chance for me to kind of step out, hopefully maybe a little bit. Why am I doing this video? Honestly, I have, like I said, I mentioned I'm turning 50 in October, and I had a goal about a week and a half now, doing these various sites. I just said at 50, when I turn 50 in October, I want to be with someone. I want to have a girlfriend. I want to be in that beneficial relationship, have someone to be with, that's part of my life, that just makes me feel complete, that, she smiles at me and you just feel like, you have just won the lotto every time you get to see her. I want to know what that feels like. I'd rather not be in this world than not know what that feels like at 50. I just can't keep doing this, I told myself. So I kind of, like I said, set things in motion, joined some sites. DoULike seems, like I said, very legitimate. It doesn't seem like it's some of the nonsense I've seen in others. Well, like I said, we're trying this video to Kind of get myself out there. All right, a little about me. Honestly, when I was still living with my brother before he got married a couple times, and since that's moved to Oregon, we'd go to something like the Renaissance Fair, or we'd go to someplace new. I like doing that. What I don't like is to do the driving and have to do the experiencing all by myself. For me, that's like drinking alone. You're not partying, you're a step away from being an alcoholic. So, more sedentary, I'm more of a homebody. My job is rather physical, so honestly, I spend, most of my days off not wanting to leave the apartment for super long periods of time. So, we're talking audiobooks, movies and TVs and DVD, making meals, relaxing with a cat, and occasionally playing some video games, which is not as common as it was in my 20s, because half the time I feel guilty for doing so, because I think, I got more important things to do. And I said I have this unofficial YouTube channel that I use scenes from the various video games to make videos, which you'll see on my playlist. I do that probably more than anything else, when I have a creative mood. Because I'm a story-based kind of guy. I mean, it's not a category you're going to find on dating sites necessarily, but it's how I approach my video games that I play, that I like, the movies, the TVs, listening to a song. It's just always got a story going. And that's just, it's how I approach things. It's how I'll, dissect a movie or TV or whatever. Just from someone from a story-based mindset. World events. For me, I'm a kind person. I'm a good listener. I've just had to be, because like I said, often not, I was the background guy. I wasn't flashy. I wasn't the one with the big muscles. I didn't have the awesome singing voice. I wasn't jumping off buildings in a single bound. I was very much like Jimmy Olsen, just taking care of business and being in the background. So, moving on. Comes down to probably the main reason why I did this video is that you have to look at me and you have to say, okay, well, Lance, what makes you worthwhile? What are the pros and cons? I'm going to tell you what I'm not. On the flip side, for the younger ladies, I'm not some chiseled stud, 10-inch penis, hours on end of sexual pleasure to be given, running to clubs, and that kind of stuff. That's just not me. The reality is, my member he's only 4 inches. He's average to below average, which, as you can imagine, did not help the mindset of dating back in the day. Worst thing in the world for a man with a small penis is to watch the pornos and realize you don't even measure up to average, and have all those ladies in the videos just degrade the men that small. You think you're going to be, sent to some prison island on Alcatraz, because no one wants you. So, that didn't help, let me tell you. That didn't help at all. So on the flip side is, I've had to become a different kind of, we'll just say lover for the sake of easy words. I have to often make love to the woman, touch the woman, enjoy the woman, have her be enjoyed, much like if I were a woman. There's a whole lot of touching, there's a lot of kissing, there's a whole lot of caressing, massaging, going down on her multiple times from multiple different positions. And that's just what I bring to the table. I'm not going to be, Johnny Thunder, stud. I'm just not. If you're looking for a gentler, someone to be with that's going to take their time, try to enjoy you, to enjoy them, then I am definitely someone you want to consider. But at the same time, I'm not, like I said, Johnny Thunder. Wouldn't want to even pretend that at all. Another extreme is that a lot of you ladies, you did everything society and the world could possibly ask you to do. You married at a fairly young age. You were faithful to your husband. You had kids. They've had grandkids. You have did everything right. You deserve George Clooney with gray hair walking into your doorway right now. Financially set. He's even more financially set. You can be, like the snowbirds, multiple homes in multiple states, all that. All that. And honestly, that's probably one of the harder things to have to admit, is that even with college degrees and, working in retail, I live a decent existence. But I'm not rich by any means, and I'm certainly not George Clooney with gray hair. For that opposite extreme of ladies that really deserve that. I'm hoping to appeal more to the lady that first needs a friend, and then more, who's had a hard life, who's had a marriage that just didn't go where she wanted it to. And I understand that pain. I understand that. I can probably empathize more than half the successful guys and studs you might meet. I understand that. And that's probably one of the other things I bring to the table is probably the one superpower I would say I would have. What one people have said more in jobs and anything else, they haven't said, Lance, you're the fastest? Nope. You're the strongest? Nope. You're the most smartest? Nope. But they've said overall, you have potential. Hands down. And I'm praying I still have that potential to be that special someone in that lady's life, she in return. Because, like I said, I'm at this point where I don't want to be alone anymore. But I don't live in a fantasy world that suddenly that's going to be super easy to change. So, drawing down, while I do think DoULike is a pretty credible site, I am not a big fan of sites in general because I feel like they're this middleman and they're not really necessary. So I'm going to throw this out. I'm going to spell out my email address. It's LanceLegends@AIM.com. That's LanceLegends@AM.com. Totally free. Or my cell, 480-406-0666. That's 480-0666. For those that would prefer to type or text or send a message. I'm giving these to you because I'm really hoping that, maybe we can move past the instant messaging and the other sites, because I'll be honest with you. I didn't come to DoULike. I haven't come to the site because I wanted to do just online. If that's honestly what you want, then again, I'm not your man. I want the real. I want the physical. I want to meet someone. I want to meet someone out there. Out there being Mesa, Tempe, Chandler, Apache Junction, Gilbert. I work in the Walmart off Power and Ray in the city of Gilbert, so I'm already there. Very close to the Mesa airport, that small airport that's near there. Might not even consider Queens Creek. Those are just the boundaries that I'm comfortable with. I have a very unreliable secondhand car that I don't want to push. So going to Phoenix really doesn't appeal. Or even farther, definitely doesn't appeal. Not a big fan of driving. Would like to keep it within those cities if at all possible. Because the closer I am to you, the more prep time we can do for fun things. Simple things. Because I just don't think it's necessary to drive half the day to see your lady. I'm just not Prince Charming wanting to jump on the horse and drive it, half a day's ride just to see his lady. I've never seen that as just being, something I wanted to do. And again, not looking to do things online. Would like to do, meeting in person, talking on the phone, because I'm a child of the '80s. That's kind of where I grew up for the most part. Born in the '70s, 10 on from the '80s, and that's just how I did things. You went to the people's house, talked on the phone. There was no digital, there was no internet, which honestly I just think gives me a better perspective than a lot of these people just glued to their phone. There's reality outside of your door that's worth so much more than online, and I'd really, really like to experience that with the ladies. Okay, I did everything I can do tonight. I'm leaving things in God and fate's hands, and perhaps that lady or ladies who are still interested. I've given you my information. I'm more than happy to respond to messages on the site, but I'm hoping that you'll consider using my information that I've given you, because in the end, I really would hope that we might be able to connect. I'm sorry this has taken so long, but I figure if you watch this and can be patient, you are going to have so much more on me than all the messaging in the world. Like I said, hope I've reached out to that lady or ladies that I really would like to meet. Hoping you will have a good night, and hope to see you.